Just rolling when you're ready.
Many styles, more powerful. I sold my rap oats before inviting Zealots. Here's a quote. Another MC and a very weak went solo. I'm trying to find her. You howl the reptile, whether Jew or Gentile, I rate top percentile. Many styles, more powerful than gamma rays. My grandma pays like Carlos Santana plays black magic. So while you human, I'm consuming mango juice under Polaris. You just embarrassed, cause it's your last tango in Paris. And even after all my logic and my theory, I had a motherfucker, so you ignorant niggas hear me.
What's poppin', y'all? This is your girl, the Hip Hop Mama. We are in a Lauryn Hill block for this Lessons of Lyrics. And that was Zealots. That's when she was with the group, the Fugees. And I just want y'all to know, when I'm focusing on the lyrics of women, I'm talking about the powerfulness of the lyrics that women drop, right? That can change the way we look at the world. You know, Jean Grace said that oftentimes when you're a female MC, 99% of the time you spend talking about being a female MC. And then we're not even actually really critically looking at the lyrics, right? I want us to really look at it like we have some dope women who say some really dope things, but do we decode it? Do we analyze it? Do we sit down and really like think about it at the breakfast table, the dinner table, right? So today we're looking at Zealots, right? And we're looking at one specific line and why that line is important, right? So Lauryn said, I add a motherfucker so you ignorant niggas hear me. Why did she say that? Okay, first of all, to my elders, if you're cringing right now, it's okay, all right? Like, don't be offended by curse words, right? Sometimes curse words are needed to make a statement so that it sticks in people's minds. And she knew exactly what she was doing. She had just said all of this like supersonic stuff that most people might not necessarily be able to get with, and then at the end she says, I add a motherfucker so you ignorant niggas hear me, just to check to make sure you were listening, just to make sure you were listening. But here's the idea of what I want you to know for girls and women. Like, I just had this conversation, right? The difference between an older woman and a younger woman, they communicate differently, right? And so you might be trying to get a message across, but it's hard to get a message across if you don't speak the same language, right? So you as the older woman might not curse. That might not be your way. That might not be your thing. But if a younger girl uses bitch every other second and you really want to talk to her about something, you've got to meet her where she is, right? And so Lauryn Hill's lyric is really about reminding girls and women about the fact that she's adding the language that she knows that would make a person sit up. And we need to do that with girls and women. What language do girls speak, right? We need to become architects of the language that girls speak so that we can get our message to them. Because here's the thing. Ain't no 15-year-old girl about to listen to me if I'm talking to her on this plane that puts me all the way up here and she feels like she's being talked down to. Now, whether or not you feel like she needs to learn a lesson, she ain't gonna get that lesson unless you're talking her language. So the lesson of the lyric for today is speak the language of that person that you're trying to communicate with, especially when it comes to young girls. Know the language so that they can get the lesson. And that's the lesson of this lyric.